Hello and welcome to Gravitas Plus. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay and I'm here to talk to you about a new trend. A trend that you could say is turning into a bad habit and attracting more people, perhaps because it makes you feel both hip and virtuous at the same time. This trend is a 7-letter word: protest. Nothing wrong with protest per se. A protest is a manifestation of your right to freedom of expression. The problem begins when people protest just for the sake of protesting, when the means becomes the end. Let me give you examples from the last 6 months. At a time when the world was locked down, it witnessed protests of all descriptions. Protests in the name of religion, protests in the name of race, protests for a lockdown, protests against a lockdown, protest over a vaccine, protest against vaccines, protest over opening exam centers, protests over shutting down university campuses. You name it, and someone somewhere in the world is protesting. Like I said, nothing wrong with protests. The choices behind them could be very personal. And in most cases, it's just people registering their objection to policies they have no hope of changing. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, what have these protests achieved? How many of these so-called movements have remained true to their cause? Protests today have become an exercise in collective meltdown. Most of them are not looking for solutions. They've become platforms to vent. And the result is this: most protests end up getting hijacked by violence and vested interests. And this, I think, is the biggest crisis plaguing the movements of the modern world. The movements of today may be gaining numbers and force. They may be mobilizing rapidly via social media networks, but they're not getting anywhere. And to be honest, today anyone can gather crowds through a few tweets or Instagram posts. Within minutes, you can have 1,000 strangers on the move. These are not movements, these are distractions. Sample this. It's a Saturday, your friends text you to join them for a protest. You decide why not. So you go there, you chant some slogans, you raise your fists, take some selfies, upload some videos, and become part of a trending story. What next? You end up being a flash in the pan, a weekend revolutionary with a few more likes on Facebook. And by saying all of this, I run the risk of generalizing and discrediting all protests. I must repeat, that is not the aim. We've seen sustained weekend protests in Hong Kong, but they remain organized, non-violent, and steady in the face of pressure. Look at this, and look at what they faced. What did they achieve? They rattled a mighty state like China, which ended up deploying its army. They exposed how the dragon crushes democracy. Now look at this. This is America. Something happened, something tragic happened. A black man was choked to death by white police officers. A black man was shot by white cops in the presence of his children. Racism is real and it's a problem. But what have the protesters done? They've discredited their own cause by rioting and looting. Is this how you fight for a cause? By plundering malls? There are armed vigilantes masquerading as protesters. There's arson and loot across the country since the month of May. When Donald Trump calls these protests acts of domestic terror, he has a point.
These are not acts of peaceful protest, but really domestic terror.
The Black Lives Matter protesters have let their movement be hijacked by thugs. Business owners and insurance experts say the cost of damages incurred from the first 5 days of violence exceeds $500 million. Let me repeat that, $500 million. And this is just for the first 5 days after the killing of George Floyd. America has burned this entire summer. One can only imagine the losses incurred overall. The point I'm trying to make is simple. Protesters lose support when they become political proxies.
Let's march on in the name of our ancestors and in the name of our children and grandchildren.
Her party is campaigning digitally because of the Wuhan virus. And from the safety of their homes, they're telling the people of America to hit the streets. But let me tell you this, breaking windows and setting fires advances no goals, unless the goal is sheer destruction. Violence is at best an attention-seeking tactic, and a very poor one at that. You'll get media coverage because in the news business, nothing sells like drama, destruction, unrest, blood. They're the ingredients of a powerful story. But that's it. Like I said, it takes you nowhere. I have some figures for you. In the last 4 years, a total of 34 countries and regions have been rocked by violent protests. The issues were mostly economic, political, or corruption related. Almost 60% of these violent protests failed, partly due to the authoritarian governments in these countries, but mostly due to the methods used. These protests ended in arson, vandalism, and loot, hundreds of deaths, and destruction of property worth billions. They failed to deliver any significant results. And why go far? India's national capital saw multiple waves of unrest this year. There were protests, and then there were riots, vandalism and bloodshed. At least 53 lives were lost. There was a lot of blame game, but did anyone tell you the economic cost of this violence? According to the Delhi Chamber of Commerce project, the losses added up to nearly 25,000 crores. The point I'm making is this: nothing justifies violence. You may be angry, you may have a legit cause, but you cannot burn buildings down to make your point. You cannot shout that your lives matter and at the same time destroy livelihoods. That's the job of anarchists, not change makers. So the next time you see a protest, ask yourself these basic questions. Who is behind it? Why should you join it? Can this be resolved through dialogue? Are you becoming a tool for someone else's agenda? Be a revolutionary, but for a worthy cause, not for an Instagram selfie. Remain open to the arguments of the other side. And if you still choose to take the plunge, then remember the words of Mahatma Gandhi, the world's most respected and most effective protester, if I may. Non-violence is the greatest force at the disposal of mankind. It is mightier than the mightiest weapon of destruction devised by the ingenuity of man. If your argument is strong, you won't have to raise your voice or wield a weapon. Violence cannot be excused as protest. Destruction cannot be an expression of dissent. Think about it.